What's up, witches? I've got a treat for you. A short story spin-off from Gretchen's Misadventures. Let's dive in! Gretchen scowled as she scrubbed the endless pile of plates brought down from the dining hall. It wasn't her fault that old Chancellor Inglewood happened to walk past her table when she let off the firecracker spell. If she thought keeping Gretchen in the kitchens would prevent her from giving the cook the slip to see the fire show, she was sadly mistaken. Aunt Esme would have seen the humour in it. Gretchen doubted that her aunt would give her much by way of reprimand when she went home at the end of the semester. She never did, much to her sister Cordelia's disgust. Gretchen watched Cook from the corner of her eye as she dutifully scrubbed the remains of the thick stew that was the students' usual fare from the mostly chipped crockery. The woman was formidable, and it wasn't the first time Gretchen had fallen afoul of the stout guardian of the kitchen. That would make it harder to sneak out from under her upturned nose, but the risk was worth the reward. The fire show only took place once a year, and at 15, Gretchen was now considered old enough to attend the ceremony, which was largely officiated by the Wizards Guild. The royalty and all the nobles of the land would be up on stage, waving to the small folks who gathered in the market square. But Gretchen wasn't interested in their pomp. If she could get her hands on some proper fireworks, she was sure she could improve her pyrotechnic skills. It wasn't a brand of sorcery that the Witches' Academy encouraged, and was dominated by snooty wizards favoured by the gentry. But some nights Gretchen fancied spending the rest of her life on the road, perhaps with a travelling band of performers, and having a bag of tricks would be the right step in that direction. "I don't have all night," Cook tittered. "Always the same with you youngsters. Arms like lead, as if they wouldn't know a hard day's work if it bit them on the backside." Gretchen ground her teeth, fighting the urge to make reference to the Harridan's own wide backside. If she would just take a sip of that darn tea by the fire. "Nothing to say for yourself?" she clucked. "A first for everything, I suppose." Gretchen heard, rather than saw, Cook shuffle toward the fireplace, where the only chair in the room sat. She smothered a smile and dropped another stack of plates in the sink. When she heard an undignified slurp, she counted to 10 before risking a glance over her shoulder. Already, Cook's eyelids drooped, and if she noticed the young witch watching her, she didn't give any sign of it. She knew she hadn't gotten the brew quite right from the shade of yellow the woman was turning, but her breathing seemed easy enough. Gretchen grabbed a cloth to dry her hands while wearing a smug smile, then draped the wet, stained towel over Cook's face before creeping into the hallway with a bucket of refuse under one arm. It was the oldest trick in the book, getting out through the doors which lead to the middens. In her first years at the academy, she had read a discarded journal from centuries earlier of another student who'd used the same method for truancy. It was a wonder nothing had been done about it, although Gretchen thought the teachers rather enjoyed administering punishment. Her feet were light on the more utilitarian floors, and she let out a breath she didn't know she was holding when she rounded a corner and saw the back door clear of anyone who would interfere. Dropping the bucket by the door, she dusted off her hands and pushed the heavy door open with her shoulder. When she turned toward the street, she was nose to nose with Chancellor Inglewood. "Not this time, Gretchen Mirkwood." Gretchen shuddered at the flinty tone in the Chancellor's voice. "You think I didn't expect some kind of trickery? Let's see what state you left Cook in this time so I can punish you accordingly." Gretchen's shoulders sagged, and she stepped aside to let Chancellor Inglewood past her. As the old woman's heeled boots struck the timber floor of the hallway, Gretchen slammed the door closed and sprang away down the alley. She ran as fast as her feet would carry her, and despite the shriek coming from behind her, she was soon lost in a press of people on the street waiting for the night's festivities. She knew she would pay dearly for her transgressions, but she would make sure the night was worth it. That wraps up our magical journey with Gretchen today, folks. If you enjoyed this short story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up for more bonus content. And hey, the complete collection of Gretchen's Misadventures by P.A. Mason is just a click away. Check the link in the description to grab your own copy and join the fun anytime you need a dose of laughter.